This week's episode has quite a bit of info that might get you excited. According to Reuters, citing 4 sources familiar with the matter, Tesla is working on a new, smaller, more affordable car. It's supposed to be a completely new model, not just an updated version of the Model Y or Model 3. The vehicle is said to be a compact crossover at a more accessible price point. But it's important to note that this is not the $25,000 car Elon Musk once promised. The project is reportedly codenamed NV9, and a few details about it have already been leaked. Meanwhile, Elon Musk didn't hesitate to claim that Tesla Semi feels like a sports car to drive after the Class 8 truck was refreshed and delivered some impressive performance specs. Let's dive into the details right now. Whenever Tesla is reported to be working on something new, it grabs a lot of attention, and even more so when it's a more affordable vehicle compared to the Model 3 and Model Y. And clearly, something is going on. The latest report from Reuters says Tesla is developing a completely new electric vehicle that's smaller and cheaper, codenamed NV9, which we think stands for Next Generation Vehicle. Honestly, NV9 sounds pretty familiar, since it brings back memories of the widely discussed $25,000 car rumors that were all over the place last year. At the time, this affordable car project was called NV91, and the name Model 2 spread like wildfire across the media. However, Elon Musk decided to put that project on hold to focus on producing the self-driving cybercab robotaxi. So Reuters' report about this new crossover clearly points to a major plan, especially since it comes at an interesting time. Tesla is about to begin mass production of the 2-seat, fully autonomous cybercab later this month. We've also seen the number of cybercabs ramping up significantly based on recent photos taken outside the factory. In fact, this is the largest batch spotted so far. Reuters is a major news outlet, and they don't publish reports without solid backing. This information comes from 4 sources familiar with the matter, likely Tesla employees with insight into the project. While the exact name of the new model hasn't been confirmed, 2 sources say it will be a compact SUV measuring around 14 feet in length. For comparison, the Tesla Model Y is about 15.7 feet long, and the Cybercab is around 14.7 feet, meaning this new vehicle would be about 1.7 feet shorter than the Model Y, and even slightly shorter than the Cybercab. One source also told Reuters that the vehicle will use a single motor and be lighter, coming in at around 3,307 pounds. Meanwhile, the Model Y currently weighs about 4,480 pounds, so that's a pretty significant drop in weight. According to Reuters, Tesla has recently reached out to suppliers to discuss production plans for this model. And unlike previous efforts, this one is expected to be a completely new vehicle, not just a stripped-down or scaled-down version of the Model 3 or Model Y. It seems like Elon Musk may have learned from the shortcomings of the Model Y standard version, which didn't gain much traction because too many features were cut while still being priced at $39,990. While it wasn't mentioned in the Reuters report, Tesla's unboxed manufacturing process could be the key to making the NV9 profitable. Even though it's currently being used primarily for the Cybercab, that doesn't mean it can't be applied to upcoming models. This approach breaks vehicle assembly into separate modules that are built in parallel and then brought together in a final step. It requires less factory space, about 40% less, according to internal estimates, and can significantly speed up production time. By building different parts of the car at the same time instead of running everything through one long assembly line, Tesla can cut costs and speed up production once it scales. That's why Elon Musk has emphasized that this manufacturing approach could become the standard for future Tesla models. 2 sources also said the expected price of this vehicle would be significantly lower than the Tesla Model 3, which currently starts at around $34,000 in China and about $37,000 in the US. That's a big deal, because many people believe Tesla can't really break into the true budget segment while still maintaining its profit margins. But this time, we could realistically be looking at a $30,000 compact crossover, or even less. The cost savings would likely come from using a smaller battery, which also means a shorter driving range compared to the Model Y's 306 to 327 miles. And with just a single motor instead of the dual motor setup found in current models, it pretty much suggests the performance won't be anything too crazy. That's likely the kind of trade-off the company is willing to make to hit a more affordable price point. 3 of the 4 sources also said production is expected to start in Shanghai, with one adding that it could later expand to the US and Europe. So why China and not Giga Texas? If you've been following Tesla closely, the answer is pretty straightforward. Giga Shanghai is currently Tesla's most efficient, lowest cost, and highest quality factory. It's no coincidence that new models, refreshed versions of the Model Y and Model 3, and even rumored vehicles tend to debut and get produced in Shanghai first, rather than in the US. The factory accounts for roughly 43 to 51% of Tesla's global output, and in 2025 alone, it produced over 700,000 vehicles. On top of that, it has a localization rate of over 95%. With a super dense and highly responsive supply chain, something Tesla's US gigafactories haven't fully matched yet. So it makes total sense to launch production in Asia first, then gradually expand to Europe and North America. All four sources familiar with the project noted that the vehicle is still in the early stages of development, so it's unclear whether Tesla has officially given it the green light for production. And if you look at Elon Musk's track record and Tesla's history with new products, most new models tend to face delays and can take years before they actually reach mass production. For example, Tesla unveiled concept versions of the Roadster supercar and the semi-truck back in 2017, but to this day, the company still hasn't delivered the production Roadster, and only recently started producing the Semi. That said, building a compact car is obviously much easier than a supercar or a Class 8 truck. The real challenge here has always been how to bring the price down without stripping away too much. Even though the Reuters report is pretty credible, it still hasn't convinced most people. A lot of folks are basically saying, "I'll believe it when I see it." And that's understandable, because what Elon Musk says and what Tesla actually does don't always line up. The whole $25,000 car story is a perfect example of how public trust took a hit. Back in 2020 at Tesla's Battery Day, Elon Musk laid out an ambitious goal of selling 20 million vehicles per year by the end of the decade. To get there, he revealed plans for a $25,000 electric car, which was expected to drive massive sales growth and launch around 2023. Then in April 2024, Reuters reported that Tesla had completely scrapped that project to focus on the Cybercab robotaxi platform. Elon Musk quickly denied the report within hours, but in reality, Reuters turned out to be right, and the affordable car project was indeed put on hold. By the end of the year, Musk even said that making a $25,000 car for human drivers was pointless. After canceling the Model 2, Musk and other Tesla executives laid out different plans for new EVs, but disappointingly, they mostly turned out to be stripped-down versions of the current Model 3 and Model Y. And up to now, Tesla's main focus has remained on the robotaxi network and the Cybercab. Musk has even argued that there's no point in selling a cheap car when you could instead sell a robotaxi that generates revenue 24/7. So, is the robotaxi project actually on track? The growing number of Cybercabs and Tesla's robotaxi fleet surpassing 573 vehicles are definitely positive signs, but that's not the whole picture. So far, full regulatory approval for fully autonomous vehicles is still a long way off in many markets. Tesla's robotaxi service in Austin is still largely operating with safety drivers on board. And according to Reuters, Tesla hasn't even applied for a federal exemption yet for a vehicle without a steering wheel. That's why most of the newly spotted Cybercabs still come with steering wheels like a regular car. Before a full robotaxi network can go live, Tesla still needs its traditional vehicle lineup to keep factories running. The Model 3 and Model Y continue to sell well, but relying on just those two models isn't enough. Another Tesla employee told Reuters that the company wants to develop self-driving vehicles that still offer a manual driving option. That points to a pretty clear strategic shift in just the past few months. Over the last 2 years, Tesla's messaging has been almost entirely focused on automation and robotaxis. But now, they seem to be circling back to the idea that people still want to buy affordable cars. There's no official timeline yet, and the project is still in its early stages, so it's unlikely to reach production before 2027. Tesla refocusing on a more affordable vehicle actually makes a lot of sense, especially as low-cost Chinese EV makers are rapidly taking over the market. Brands like BYD have already launched cars priced between $10,000 and $20,000 in multiple regions. If Tesla wants to hit its goal of delivering 20 million vehicles per year by 2030, a high-volume, low-cost model is absolutely essential. Tesla really needs to bring this crossover to market soon, and it has to fully commit to being genuinely affordable. Elon may have made a rare misstep in vision by canceling the $25,000 car back in 2024, and this time, hopefully, it won't happen again. Next up today, the Tesla Semi has gone through some major changes, both in design and performance. Compared to 8 years ago when it was first unveiled and raised big questions about mass production, Tesla spent nearly a decade building a dedicated factory and pushing through production hell, and now they've got a refreshed version. Elon Musk even emphasized that Tesla Semi feels like a sports car to drive. So why would he say that? After years of testing prototypes, Tesla has made refinements that make the Semi much more driver-friendly, especially when it comes to driving feel. Something you don't really get from other electric trucks. In the new version, the motor and axle setup has been redesigned in a much smarter way. Typically, electric trucks rely on a 2-speed transmission. That type of gearbox helps balance torque and speed, but every time it shifts, you get a slight jolt, a bit of delay, and some energy loss. The Tesla Semi doesn't use that anymore. Instead, It runs 3 electric motors split across 2 rear axles, 2 motors on the front axle, and 1 motor on the rear axle. The front torque axle is equipped with 2 motors, and they're specifically designed to deliver strong torque right from a standstill and during hill climbs. Think of them as 2 power muscles that help an 80,000-pound truck accelerate smoothly without feeling sluggish. But once the Tesla Semi reaches steady highway speeds, that axle can automatically disconnect internally to eliminate mechanical drag, and those 2 front motors basically go into a near-rest state. At that point, the rear axle, with a single motor, takes over completely, allowing the Semi to cruise efficiently on the highway on its own. You might wonder, why not let both axles handle both situations? In other words, why not have all 3 motors working all the time? The simple answer is redundancy. Having 2 separate axles means that in the rare case one axle fails, the other can still keep the truck moving. It's a built-in backup system. Honestly, this is one of the most interesting engineering details in the new Tesla Semi. Instead of overcomplicating things to handle every scenario, Tesla went with a smarter approach. 3 specialized motors, each doing what it does best, with seamless switching between them. It's a clean, modern, and efficient solution that you didn't really see in the earlier Semi prototypes. Part of the reason Elon Musk compares the Semi to driving a sports car also comes down to its improved aerodynamics, up about 7% in efficiency. For a Class 8 truck, even a 1% improvement can translate into dozens of extra miles of range. Dan Priestley, head of the Tesla Semi program, even revealed in an episode with Jay Leno that the refreshed Semi's drag coefficient is lower than that of the Bugatti Veyron. That's partly because the Semi now has a drag coefficient of just 0.4, an impressive engineering achievement that took years to reach. It's not just about having a better front-end design. It requires full optimization across the entire vehicle. Traditional Class 8 trucks typically have drag coefficients ranging from 0.55 to 0.9 or even higher due to their boxy shapes. Large gaps between the cab and trailer, exposed underbodies, and lots of protruding components that disrupt airflow, along with a massive frontal area. At highway speeds, aerodynamic drag can account for more than 50 to 65% of total energy consumption, which is why reducing the drag coefficient to such a low level has always been a major challenge in the heavy trucking industry. With the 2026 Semi, Tesla engineers made a whole series of small refinements to hit that 0.4 drag coefficient. The front end is sharper, with a redesigned light bar to help guide airflow more smoothly. The windshield has been optimized in size. The gap between the cab and trailer is minimized, and the underbody is more enclosed to reduce turbulence. On top of that, the wheels and other aero components have been refined, and the truck has shed about 1,000 pounds to improve overall efficiency. Despite all that, cabin space hasn't really been compromised. In fact, Tesla even upgraded some premium touches inside, like larger displays and improved cup holders. The 2026 Tesla Semi also adopts power electronics technology from the Cybertruck, allowing it to supply electricity directly from the main battery to trailer-mounted systems, especially refrigerated trailers. This feature is called EPTO, Electric Power Takeoff, delivering up to 25 kilowatts of peak power and completely eliminating the need for a separate diesel auxiliary power unit on the trailer. And honestly, having an electric truck pulling a diesel-powered unit behind it never really made sense. It's noisy, inefficient, and kind of defeats the purpose. So it's great to see Tesla getting rid of that. There are plenty of other upgrades we've covered in previous episodes, especially the Semi's million-mile battery. If you're interested, feel free to check out that video in the description. And with that, we'll wrap up today's episode. What do you think about an affordable car if it cost $30,000 and had all the basic features? Would you consider it if Tesla can mass-produce the Semi next year? Do you think they could dominate the truck market in the US? Drop your thoughts in the comments, and don't forget to like, subscribe, and see you next time.